Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to move on with the second half of our show. So would you please welcome to the cage, Janos Elek. And now would you welcome to the cage, Hamlet Kazaryan. This is amateur mixed martial arts over three-minute rounds of action in the featherweight division. And your warriors in the cage, in the blue corner, weighing in at 145 pounds, he represents Team Titan, Janos Elek. And his opponent across the red corner, he weighed in at 145.3 pounds. He represents the United Martial Arts Academy, Hamlet Kazaryan. Your referee, Mr. Sam Amidi. Featherweight amateur MMA over 3 rounds. And it's Kazaryan in the red corner on the attack against a Janos Elek from Team Titan in the blue, Dean.
Janos coming from Team Titan. He's got Mickey Pappas in the corner there. And it's Brad Pickett's gym over North London. They're known for their wrestling skills, but as we see here, Hamlet is landing some body punches to the head, Malcolm.
He's a powerhouse, Dean. He's walked through what Janos Elek was trying to keep him away with, and he's clipped him on the jaw again, forcing him to go down. And it's the sheer raw power of Kazaryan.
Hamlet landed that left hook again with the right hand. Janos seemed to have recovered. And I love the way he put his back on the cage and he fired some of his strikes back to make Janos think twice about coming in and finishing.
Well, for me, Janos has got to keep that head moving, because as we saw, Hamlet is looking to take that head clean off its shoulders with the start, and that left hand lands again. But Janos lands back. Suddenly he retaliates and lands clean himself as Hamlet came in.
Both having the power. It's just setting up these punches whilst keeping the head movement. Big left hook there from Janos.
And he's up for this now. He's realised that he can catch Hamlet Kazaryan after weathering that early storm, that barrage of punches. You can see Janos Elek, he's really coming into his own now, Dean.
Janos needs to be careful. When he moves back, he's leaving his chin up in the air. See that? His hands are not protecting his chin. Very dangerous play, particularly if one of these punches from Hamlet get through.
Well, as you said that, as he was clipped with the left, took the low kick to land his own right, takes another blistering low kick, but as I said, he's recovered well and is equally dangerous now. That low kick set up well again, but Janos replies with his own right hand. Rights and lefts, and suddenly it's Hamlet, Dean, that stops. What a punch fest so far.
Hamlet kazaryan has definitely got a chin, and it's getting tested at the moment from Elek. But we need to see head movement and the disguising of these punches. As of yet, no one's attempted or even faked a takedown.
Oh. And another big right from Janos, and suddenly the tables are turned. Hamlet pushes him away, but as you said, defensive maneuvers at the moment are at a premium from these two men. That left and right stung Hamlet again.
Hamlet needs to be careful about wading in and not keeping his hands up. But Elek did a great job. As soon as he feels the cage, Malcolm, he circles off.
Yes, Hamlet has been woken up to the dangers of Janos Elek now, and again, when both men trade, it's the slightly better movement of Janos, as you saw there, that's getting the finishing touches in these exchanges.
Kazaryan now, he's moving his head. He's using the slips and keeping his hands nice and tight to his chin, and that is going to play a part in the striking realm. The head movement, your head not being there to receive that powerful punch.
But Dean, talking of powerful punches, both men in that opening round were tested. Both men, as we said, I won't say lacked defensively, almost seemed to didn't care defensively, and their chins were tested, and they were both found not wanting. What a start to a round. Not even an attempted takedown, even when the heat was on from either man.
I think they both smelt blood and they wanted to finish, hungry for the win here at the LFC, but we go to round two.
So round two coming up. Round one was a slugfest. And I'm interested to see, Dean, if in round two either man changes tactics or is happy to try and wear the other one down.
Be interested to see who initiates the takedown first. Both have been happy, both have been rocked and landed decisive punches thus far, but if you can see here, Hamlet, he's starting to move his head a little bit more. He's looking for that right hand. Oi! The right hand sneaks through there from Elek.
And finally, Hamlet engages for the takedown. Elek having none of it. And again, started the round with his own blistering leg kick. And now they're both firing away. That left and right did land. And Hamlet now looks to take the back from that barrage of left and rights. Gives that up and looks for the big knee. But this is amateur, Dean. Amateur mixed martial arts.
He's got to be careful of that knee when it travels to the head, as we know, not included in the amateur rules. And that's such a shame because Hamlet had Elek hurt, and now this is a key moment in the fight. You can see Janos Elek is recovering now. He's recovering his endurance and his equilibrium from all those damaging shots.
And that knee would have been equally damaging a foot lower to the midsection with Janos so keen on defense that midsection was just as wide open.
And it would have allowed him to keep the pressure on and not account for this separation, but both men still happy to trade, Malcolm.
Yes, surprising. They've really been tested, been exciting for the crowd.
Hamlet needs to disguise these punches. He needs to stick that jab out. Elek equally needs to set up the punch. They're both looking for the power rear hand.
Well, the thing is, they've both been happy to stay in the pocket and trade like that. And there has been no change of tactic. I like to see these low kicks come in. And just when you think one of the two is on his way out, he does find a way to respond.
And it's swarming in with these punches. He needs to be careful about telegraphing those punches. Don't wind them up down low by his hip. Fire them the quickest way, which would be straight down the pipe. Or the hooks, elbow up, angle across, hips turn over. But as we see now, Janos looking for the 1-2 combination. Well, he's leaving his chin out there. He's to be very careful, because if Hamlet can time that...
Hamlet got twigged there as well. The right hand to the chin, and then the kicks following back and forward. As I was saying, Dean, just when you think the momentum is shifting in favour of someone, the other man comes back with some punishing stuff.
Back and forth war, but now we see Hamlet Kazaryan initiate the clinch. And what he's going to try and do is work the guillotine. He's going to have to clasp his left hand onto his right wrist. He's going on, opting to go under the arm here. Might look for a head snap. He's looking to drag down to the guard. It's very difficult when your opponent has his back sunk into the cage like that and a wide base.
Yes, it's the first lull in the upright action, and as I say that, here they go once more. As soon as they stand upright, and Hamlet just beginning to look tired here. It was an unfortunate slip for Janos Elek. And then Hamlet, a superb reversal, Dean. There's so many twists in this tale right at the end of the second.
Hamlet now in the guillotine position. What he needs to do is step his left leg over at an angle across, almost like he wanted to mount, and finish the guillotine from the mount position.
Well, a twisting tale, these 2 rounds, and for the first time they go to ground. And is that key, do you think, for Hamlet Kazaryan to be in that position right at the end of the round when it's been a slugfest across the 2, with both men having success?
I think it's a smart play when you're hurt, when you feel like you got rocked, and also the takedowns mean a lot on the judges' scorecards.
Being honest here, Dean, I didn't think we would be approaching the 3rd and final round after the way these 2 have gone for each other.
And that is purely due to those 8-ounce gloves, Malcolm. In amateur rules, the gloves are larger, more padding than they would in a pro bout.
And here they go again. Back and forth. Oh, the high head kick, but he slips delivering it, and Hamlet looks to try and take advantage of that.
Hamlet now needs to think about passing the legs. Sprawl will be very heavy. Looks to turn the back, Malcolm. He'll try and get his hooks in. Oi, very nice from Janos there, opting to stand up.
And away they go once more with these hands. Oh, the back fist when he came back up. Oh, spins. Rotor blades of a helicopter there, Dean.
That is the first time I've ever seen that, and that helicopter blade, I like that. He threw a punch, missed, and then came back straight away with the same hand. Wow.
That was a favourite of Chuck Norris in the 80s in his movies there. Yeah, he always seemed to land, though. I don't know why.
Oh, left hook there, sneaking through. Janos again moving up with his chin up. He's very careful about doing that. The whole time his chin and his head is not protected. Runs the risk of a knockout.
Yeah, his footwork's good, you're right. But as I said, he leaves the head hanging there. One big punch.
Big swing and a miss there from Janos. Janos again, oi, with his chin up in the air, and he ate a right hand. Circles out very well.
As I said, there's nothing wrong with his footwork, Dean. It's just a few little things he needs to correct with his head and his head movement.
It's evident of his style. He likes to keep his hands low, and a lot of fighters believe that keeps them more mobile, able to move in and out. If you think about fighters like Conor McGregor, for instance, their hands are usually quite low, and that enables that quick in and out and side-to-side movement.
I always used to say to our own fighters, Dean, that's fine when you're out of range. When you are out of his punching or kicking range, drop the hands, get the movement going. When you come back into range, either for you offensively or defensively, then they need to come back up.
I'd like to see Janos work some more leg kicks there. Hamlet took a step back to take a breath. I'd like to see him throw some leg kicks and take the spring out of his step.
Yeah, I think it's got to the stage now, you know, when in a fight where both men, not only is the power just gone, but they seem to have built up a resistance to what's coming back at them as well. And what I'm trying to say is you could probably see another full round of this and the guys still absorb it and somehow keep going.
Hamlet is wobbled. Janos opted to go straight right to the body, left hook to the head. Did a great job of keeping that mid-range distance, but now he's eating shots, Malcolm, up against the cage.
And it's heavy hands again from both men, and they're still there. They will be so happy to hear this bell. And I'm amazed, Dean, after 3 rounds like this, that both men are still there. It's an old-fashioned slugfest. It was a shootout.
Edge of your seat, MMA, slugfest, as you said, Malcolm. It's just amazing to watch, and the gas tank seemed to hold out on both fighters. And will the takedowns early on in the fight play the part? We will go to the judges' scorecards to render a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to start the second half. What a war between these two men. Let's hear it for both your warriors in the cage. But we do have a unanimous decision. Our judges in favor of the blue corner, Janos